Alright, you clicked the link, and so now we're doing it. Book review of Exit Strategy from the Murderbot Diaries. Let's hit it. Hello, and welcome back to the couch. We saved you a seat. My name is Luke, and today we're checking out the book Exit Strategy from the Murderbot Diaries series. Yes, we've been doing chapter by chapter reactions and reviews. We finished the book, and now we're on to the full book review. If you'd like to follow along, there's a link in the description of this video to Amazon. Buy the book. It helps the channel. You can also just buy anything else using those links, and it'll help the channel if you want to support us. Also, you can join the membership. It's $2 a month. It really just buys us a cup of coffee. It's not that kind of special. It just is like a, hey, thanks for doing what you do, guys. We really appreciate it. But we're going to talk about this book. I think this is the best one. This is the best one of the series. This is the best one, which stinks. I thought the second one was super, super good, and I liked it. But there were a few moments in the second one where I was like, And the first book is introduction. You're just getting to know Murderbot. You're like, But then you've got the third one, which is a little weird. It's a little strange. You get introduced to some cool concepts, and the combat bot is just ferocious and awesome. And you learn a little bit about the universe and the world. But this one comes right on the heels of the third one. And I've got to say, it does a spectacular job of making the world massive. One of the parts of the story, like the classic story circle, is you write for consequences. You don't write for an action. You write for a consequence. If this happens, then these things happen. If this happens, then these things happen. And then you just write your character through those moments. It begins in this book. Murderbot's in a ship heading back to a place. He's going to the place and runs into security people. Okay? Runs into them. He does. It's like, oh no. Why is there so many people here? And then Murderbot immediately realizes it. Murderbot finds out where Mensah is. Murderbot goes to where Mensah is because, right, Murderbot's got to, transfer the data. And then Murderbot meets the team from chapter 1 because they're with Mensah. All three of these chapters, kind of boring. Necessary, kind of boring. I gotta say it. They're important. And I love the pace that they go through. If the pace was any quicker, it'd be too fast. And if it was any slower, it'd be way too boring. It's a little boring for me because I already know what the heck's happening. And there is like 3 or 4 chapters where you don't learn anything new except for the names of a few new companies, and you don't really go on anything. All it is 3.5 chapters of setup. But then we get the good stuff. We get the good stuff. Murderbot meets with some old friends, realizes they've kind of captured Mensah, comes up with a way to pull Mensah out of capture, and then proceeds to dominate doing so while showing some vulnerability and tactical awareness. Also, we see Murderbot's first, our rendition of Murderbot's first confrontation with a combat sec unit. This is the peak of attacking. This thing is the scariest. It's fought sec units. It's fought combat bots. Sec units in themselves, they are a 1 size meets 10 security service for a group of 10 people. They're not just one unit. They're all encompassing security service. Then we meet other sec units, and they are frightening and scary and ferocious, but not quite as ferocious as combat bots, which are crazy, right? Combat bots are what the droid army, I think, wants to be in Star Wars. Those things are ferocious. They have a knife or some sort of stabbing weapon in one arm. They've got a gun or projectile weapon in the other sort of gadgets and gizmos. It says it's 3 meters tall, so around 10 feet, 9.5 feet. It's crazy. Crazy. And Murderbot takes care of 3 of them in its own way in the 3rd book. But now we've got a combat sec unit. These are the culmination of everything. These things have all the capacity that Murderbot has, right? Without any of the drawbacks, without any of the guilt, without anything. We see Murderbot come up against one of these things and literally flee on sight. It's so frightening. These things are insane. They can do all of the hacking. They can do all of the things that they need to do. They are built for combat and they're built for security service. They're pretty cool. I wish I could visualize them, but it is cool that they look like sec units, which is even freakier because they look just like Murderbot would with the armor on. Then, in this book, we get a really cool moment. Mensah talks Murderbot down right in front of other people. Right? All of these people are frightened of Murderbot. And Mensah says, "It's time to stand down, son. There's more important things in the world and you're pissing me off." I love that. That's what a good friend should do. That's what a good mentor should do. That's what a good person with empathy, thoughtfulness, caring should do. And I love that that's there. I said it in that chapter review. Mensah is a dog for this. Dog. Right? And then we get this conflict that's reminiscent of Independence Day, where essentially the shuttle that they're on is attacked by COVID. Space digital COVID killware. They call it attacker. It's crazy. What are we going to do to us? Attack, kill you. It's insane. And Murderbot, with the help of the bot pilot on the ship, traps it into a shuttle, jettisons the shuttle. It's a full-on Independence Day situation. And Murderbot is stretched so thin that it wakes up with a hangover the next day. It takes 30 hours for it to kind of fully recover and fully reboot. I think the hangover thing is kind of funny. For me personally, I've had my fair share of hangovers, and they suck. They suck. They suck real bad. And then you wake up to text messages, and you see some stuff on the floor you have to clean up, and you're like, why is there burnt food on the stove? Oh no. Who folded my clothes? Was that me? Hangovers. They're crazy. But then you get a real moment with Murderbot there at the end, where Murderbot finds out it's literally free to go anywhere it wants. It schedules a trip in a transport. It goes to the transport. It goes and sees a movie beforehand, 3 hours long, kind of fun. And then it goes to the thing and no one's there to stop it. And it's like, oh, I guess I don't have to go. It's like once it knows that it's free to leave, it decides to stay. But the moment it's told it can't leave, it wants to go. That's maturity on a high level. Right? Murderbot, for me, outside of the security service that it provides, has always been this like 14-year-old boy. Down to the moment where it says in this book, because I want to win. I felt that. I wanted to win. I felt that so hard. And then it gets this moment where it can leave. It can just do whatever. It's given new IDs from Penn Lee. It's given money. It could just leave. They would never find it. And it doesn't. Because it doesn't have to stay. Freedom is awesome. And we like that. And we got a pretty cool cliffhanger at the end of this book. Kind of detailing a few things that we might see. Going to grow the world a little bit. But it's nice that we've finished this chapter. It kind of, this first 4 books kind of remind me of, if you ever played those old PlayStation Final Fantasy games, this is kind of the first CD, the first 9 hours of a 40-hour game. That's what it kind of feels like. We've seen every bit of foreshadow, not every bit, most of every bit of foreshadow that we thought we were going to see. Now we can grow the world. We can see what art is. We can see where our sex bot has gone to. We can do some other things. We can go on a journey with the crew from book 3. It's going to be really cool. If I had to rank them, I would say this is my favorite one, and I think this is also the best one. Even with me saying that the first few chapters are kind of boring, they're only boring because I'm in this series and reading it every day. If I wasn't, I imagine it wouldn't be as boring. I would be like, oh right, there's consequences to Murderbot's actions, and he's more connected to this world than he knows, and this is cool. But for me, because I'm reading this every day and I'm part of a community and I'm talking about it with friends and family, it was just like, oh right, this is all old hat. This is standard story structure. I get it. But then you get into the meat and potatoes, and it becomes a real action to the title of Exit Strategy. It's very interesting. And I love that we get this moment where Murderbot kind of becomes an adult. But Murderbot becomes an adult because it's always wished it was an adult. It's always wished it had freedom. It always just wanted it. And then finally it was like, yeah, you've got it, dude. You can just do whatever. And it's like, oh, if I could do whatever, I'd rather be here. Just hanging out with y'all. Doing my thing, watching TV. It's funny, huh? It's funny how when you finally give, or when things finally have freedom, they kind of just decide to enjoy the things they have. It's interesting. Anyway, I think this it's my favorite book. It's of the series so far. It's pretty good. I have to say my second favorite is the second book. Art plays a massive role because I love that kind of Cortana to Master Chief relationship that's in that situation. Third favorite is the first one. The first one is great. It's a lot of new things, and you get a lot of the inside Murderbot's head, what is Murderbot thinking situation. And then finally, the third one, while it expands the world quite a bit, it feels a little bit lifeless. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It just feels a little bit empty, just slightly empty. So that's how I feel. This is a great book. I highly recommend it. Once you get to about page 100, the next 100 pages, or 80, 70 pages, are just going to be a bam, 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 bam. Thank you, man. And you're out, honestly. And it's a great continuance of the story. I understand that, and from some of the comments, thank you, Melissa, that we're probably going to have to, and a few other people, sorry, not shouting you out, my bad. Probably going to read book 6 for next because it's the one that comes next chronologically. No, chronologically 5, 6, 7. But I'm going to do 6 because it makes sense according to the internet and you all that you read 6, then 5, then 7. And then move on from there. There's also some short stories someone told me, Melissa, I think, told me about today. So I might check those out. Once again, we're going to do some other content on the channel that I'm very, very, very excited about. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there. And that means we can make a little money. We can put forward a little bit better content. We can pay for some subscription services and maybe possibly do cooler stuff. Also, I just got sound effects like this one. And this one. From my brother. So we're going to do that. It's going to be dope. Anyway, I appreciate you staying this long. If you like this content, please like and subscribe and share. And until next time, later, titters.